Welcome to the Standard. It's W. Goodell. This is number 7. Yeah, it's great. Lucky 7, but it's not really a lucky day as far as a lot of football fans in the New York metropolitan area is concerned. It's been a sad day because Odell Beckham has been traded from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns for a first and a third round pick of this year's draft. I think it's the 17th pick and of the first round and the second pick in the third. And also Jabril Peppers will come along, 23-year-old safety. He's a nice player. But nobody wants to hear that today. Giant fans don't want to hear that today. You know it's always tough when we just did the unicorn episode not too long ago, And sorry. In the unicorn episode, it was just the same type of thing, the star player, but he gets traded, shock fan base, beloved player, shock fan base. It's always, it's always gonna be, a lot. It's fast media cycle, so the reactions just are coming along, just pouring in the reactions from the Beckham trade. I mean, what can I say? At the end, we don't know what's gonna be the result of this trade, so you're never gonna judge a trade till a year or two later. But the initial shock, Odell Beckham is a superstar. He's a social media Instagram icon. Like, he can walk anywhere and in the country and for 1 minute and someone's gonna know who he is. He's a superstar in all the senses of the word. And with that said, that's probably why he's not a Giant anymore. A lot of times Odell, he showed his life on social media. He let everyone know what's going on. He was very, he liked that attention. He's a clout guy, and he was an entertainer as well as a football player. And, maybe the Giants, they didn't want that entertainer anymore. They didn't want to take all the baggage. Odell Beckham never did anything wrong as far as like other players getting arrested but the Giants didn't want him anymore, and I can't say I agree with them because right now I don't agree with them. I don't agree to anything the Giants have been doing in the last 4 years. As just a guy looking at the game, looking at it objectively, you got a 39-year-old quarterback, and you guys have heard me say this before. This guy should have been gone 3 years ago, But you got to look at it. The Giant fans, a lot of this is your fault, and you got to take some of this blame. And if you're not a Giant fan willing to take some of this blame, you have to at least understand where this is coming from. What I'm about to say, this whole situation, we shouldn't even be here. Okay, 2 years ago, McAdoo, the old coach, went and he went to start Geno Smith for Eli Manning during Eli's big streak. And McAdoo was done with Eli. The Giants they had 2 or 3 wins at the end of the season. They were done for the year. Okay? This is the 2017 season. They were done. The year before, he took them to the playoffs. They lost the playoff game to Green Bay. Whatever, You won, 11-5 football team. Shit happens. Took a tough loss in Lambeau. It's okay. The next year, they flop. They ended up with the second pick in the draft, so they had 3 wins that year, something like that. When Eli was substituted for Smith, the fans go nuts. The fans go so crazy, like it was the most important thing on earth. They went crazy so much. They piled upon the coach. The coach was a very eccentric coach, a new age coach. He was trying to do some different things. We never got to see what he was worth because we never got to see what he wanted to do. But one thing I knew for sure was he loved that wide receiver. McAdoo loved the OBJ and what he could do with him. He loved the prospects of coaching this guy and going further with him. But McAdoo didn't want Eli Manning anymore. He didn't want Eli anymore. So he tried to start phasing him out. McAdoo didn't know this history of Geno Smith in New York. He didn't give a shit about that. He doesn't know. The guy was out of town when he coming in. He didn't know how you guys felt and how he played in New York with the Jets, how bad he was and the reputation Geno had. And that in its own got McAdoo fired. That situation, starting Geno Smith and breaking Peyton Manning's streak, which nobody cares about right now because I know everybody would rather have Odell than Manning's streak and Manning here, period. Because after that, They bring him back another year. Last year, they pass on the quarterback. They go get the running back. So Giant fans like, hey, what are we doing here? All right, fine. At least we got Saquon. At least we passed on Darnold, who looks like he's going to be a blue chip star. He looked like he's the real deal. He looks like in a couple of years he might pop. You know, we'll see though. They had the number 2 pick in the draft. They took Saquon, who looks like a Hall of Fame back. I'm saying that right now after year 1. He's that good. So, okay, fine. We got Odell Beckham. We got Saquon Barkley. We got a safety. We're going to get this line together. We're going to get a QB, and, we'll figure it out. That's what Giant fans thinking. Maybe we'll just do what we did in 2004. We'll go get a quarterback, then we'll start Eli, and then we'll bring the new guy in. We'll get rid of Eli. That's what we're going to do. That's what they're doing. That's what Gettleman's doing. That's what the Giant fan thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Any football fan with any intelligence who's following, that's what you're thinking. No, that's not what they do. That ain't what they do. They trade Beckham. Now what? They signed Beckham in January. Gettleman tells everybody, we're not dealing Beckham. I didn't sign him to deal him. Then you deal him. This Gettleman guy, man. A lot of guys didn't like Gettleman. A lot of players talked about Gettleman. D'Angelo Williams from the Panthers and the Steelers, played for Gettleman in Carolina. And he said that Gettleman was a bad guy. Gettleman didn't know how to handle guys. He didn't like guys that he didn't bring in. He had said that on one of this morning show. He said this a year ago maybe. I remember. And he was like, yeah, I never liked the guy. He said the guy didn't like guys he did not bring in. So if you get him in and bring you in, he doesn't care. He doesn't care if you're an all-world talent like Odell Beckham Jr. or as popular as Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. was over it. He was making them cryptic posts where you're talking about the Glazer rumors, and they came to fruition. What Jay Glazer said. We talked about that. We're like, yeah, the Odell Beckham, but nobody listened to them, including myself, because at the end of the day, there always was Odell Beckham rumors. Why wouldn't there be? The guy is an all-world talent. They got a first and a third. You don't even get that for receivers in the league. It happened with the Oakland receiver. They gave up too much for him because that kid, or the Oakland receiver, the one who's in Dallas now, he's not Odell Beckham. He's a good player, but he's not Beckham. It's a wow. This reminds me. I told a friend of mine. I told him about how this remind me of Reeve when the Jets traded Revis. It's not the exact same thing because the fans, in my opinion, had a lot to do with the whole situation the Giants is in because the fans coddled the quarterback. The fans protected Eli Manning. They protected and shielded him. And now what? He got the force field on him. Now you want to take it. What do you want? See, the fickleness is what you get. That's why they both start with an F. Fan fickle. It's fuckery. You know what I'm saying? It's fuckery. So I don't. It's just it's starting to die down. It's a fast news cycle. This happened 4 hours ago. Today's that Tuesday, same Tuesday night. Unbelievable though. Unbelievable. And, the Landon Collins situation, the seeds were planted, weren't they? And now, as a Giant fan, like, I'm going to ask my dad when I speak to him, and me just, being in sports, I'm like, oh, what do they do now? What are they supposed to do? Are you going to tell them anything? It's like on the train when they be like, yeah, it's train traffic ahead, and they keep saying that shit. Tell them what's really going on. Like, tell them what's going on. At least the shitty Jets, we knew we were going to go do this. We tank. We got the cap space. We got the QB. We got a plan. We got the plan. It's not these people of the Giants, these fans of the Giants, they're used to success. So, you take a break from the success, whatever, we do move some parts, put them back in, they go win another championship. So, a couple things gone bad, whatever, a couple years passed from 11, they get back in the playoffs. Eli, we got this Odell guy now, we got this. So, the foundation is planted. And now the foundation's been ripped apart. Just ripped from underneath them. What do you want them to do? Like, the quarterback is 39 years old. He's making $25 million now, $30 million. They talk about the cap clogged up. You can't pay this guy. Odell clogged up the cap. Eli, what is Eli gonna do? He's gonna throw the Shepherd. He's gonna throw the Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley gonna run the ball 35 times. He's gonna catch it 12. Man, it's gonna be a long season for the football Giants, man. been a long fucking season, man. One thing, you know, on the flip side, you guys got the picks. You got the 6th pick in the draft. You know, the draft picks are always super valuable in the NFL draft. Any first round pick. So you got the later round pick. Was it 17th and 19th? I know. Guys, bear with me, man. Like I said, she be on top of that. I don't know what you want me to do. But I don't know, you got that 17th and 19th pick in the draft. Then you got the 2nd rounder. You know? Good luck. Giant fan told me, man. They told me that Beckham got traded to the Browns. And then on the flip side, the Browns. Beckham's there. He got his college roommate there, LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Jarvis Landry. They got Jarvis. They got, well, they might sign Earl Thomas. I heard they might sign Earl Thomas in the morning. I don't know about that. I don't want to say it for sure. I said on tape they signed Earl Thomas. Then they going to sign Earl Thomas. Then they like, yo, W, you going to sign Earl Thomas? I don't know. So, but Earl Thomas, I heard they just got Sheldon Richardson. You remember Big Sheldon from the Jets? They got him. You know, they ready to work, man. They got Baker Mayfield, man. They got the running backs. Man, they gonna be dangerous, man. The Steelers just took a step back, man. The Browns not playing this year, man. They got another first-round pick. They sent the Giants their latter pick in the first round. They had 2 first-rounders. The earlier one, they still got it. You know? The Browns are gonna be good, man. It's hard to see them not. They got all the misfits there. They got Landry, they got Baker Mayfield, now they got OBJ, they got Sheldon. They got all the misfits. They're going to be one of them teams. They're going to be out to prove. You know, everybody said, we this, we that. They're going to use that for motivation. They're going to bust people head. They're going to bust people heads, man. Yeah, man. A lot of signings, you know, today. Barr dissed the Jets. Anthony Barr, he went back to Minnesota after he told us whatever. He's going to come through. You know, a lot of teams made moves. The other guy, wide receiver, I was trying to front on his, I didn't know his name, Amari Cooper. I just remember the shit in my head. But, the Dallas wide receiver I was trying to. But yeah, so, you know, man, you know, the Odell reaction is crazy, man. This guy was a star. He's still going to be a star in Cleveland. You know, he's a 10 million follower guy, whatever millions. Anywhere he goes, everybody knows him. Everybody wants to be around him. The kid's been, you know, he's been a little trolly. He always showed off, you know, mess around. He proposed into the net. And, you know, the Giants is an old school football team, you know, and the Giant fan base, a lot of the Giant fan base, the old school, they don't like it. The Giants do things the Giant way, and I know the Giant way. And, you know, like, to me, a lot of them old ways need to fade out. And a lot of old people in their old ways, they're paying the price for it, you know, but we're going to see what happens. I just think the Giants, the stubbornness, I think they could have tolerated that guy a little more, man. He was worth tolerating. Because at the end of the day, he wanted to win games. He wasn't Antonio Brown, you know, but maybe they felt like he was going to go there eventually. I was thinking about him before, the other day after Antonio, I said, yeah, he's going to be next. But I didn't think that was going to happen like this, yo. But, you know, the next day is always, you know, hindsight is always 20/20, you know, right? Man, yo, wow, man, what a day, you know. A lot of stuff happened today.
Blackout music.
But yeah, free agency's gonna continue. You know, a little quick show, talking about what we know. What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to you guys soon. It's real soon, man. Keep talking about it, man. Let's talk about it.